Anything look different over there, y'all? Y'all see anything different? It's a lot more light over there, huh? Look up there. Ooh. The city finally, after I had to cuss and hoop and holler, the city finally agreed that they need to cut them damn limbs back off the power lines. You pay taxes. Why don't you want to work? But that's all right. I got news. Um, Let me see. Let me go in here. So this bed is gonna get more sun now. Now that all of that's gone. Now the city said they're gonna come chip that up. They cut these limbs 3 days ago now, and they said it was gonna come chip it the next day. They're not back. I'm not surprised. They take their sweet time about everything. So I'm not surprised at all. But I'm gonna take you out through the garden. My strawberries should get a little bit more sunlight. We're gonna see if that's gonna make them run or not. I have had a problem with strawberries running, but I don't know if it's the bed or the strawberries. It's one of the two. I'm gonna figure it out. I really hadn't taken a lot of time to figure it out. I wasn't worried about it. The strawberries make strawberries, and they make strawberries, and they were healthy looking. The only difference was they wouldn't run. They're supposed to. So but we'll handle that as we go. But I'm gonna get some of these, and then when they cut the limbs, a lot of little stuff fell down in here. I got a bunch of leaves I got to take off. So I think I already released it. If I hadn't released it, I should have released it, but now the video talking about your collard leaves and how you should basically how these collard leaves, they actually fertilize better than comfrey. And that's not, oh, let me tell you, an ant done bit me on my foot, and that sucker really got me too. I can't even hardly focus. It must have been a fire ant. It hurt. Anyway, let me get this all this mess with these big old holes in them. I have sprayed my stuff with my BT and stuff. So, but if you wonder, all these little plants, when they don't make no big leaves like that, you can cut that whole stalk off and use that as fertilizer. And that's what y'all should be doing. So when you see your plants, I'm gonna pull it up. There your fertilizer. You pulling up your fertilizer. I just want to let you know that. Like I said, I got a video talking about that. All this here, this is all good fertilizer. So I wanted to show y'all that. That was one thing going on in the garden. This year, I guess I'm going to have to get fall tomatoes. Y'all see how bad that look? And I know a lot of people will be like, oh, go through there and pull all this off. And yeah, I could do that. And I do that to a certain extent. But I'm going to be honest with you. For what? That's some more energy and some more work. I keep trying to, some of y'all, and like I said, and I'm going to do a video on this. Y'all going to think I'm crazy. If you retire, please understand you have more time to do all this than the average person. Because everybody's not retired. And everybody can't stand out here and pluck all this. This is, I ain't going to say it's a waste of my time, but please. I'm not doing that one. I harvested that melon. That video should have posted already where I harvested, but I still got some more, and I want to correct myself. These are not Bradford. That's Charleston Gray. I remembered what I planted, lo and behold. I had some Fairmore seeds that came from, I think, Dollar Tree or something. And those are Charleston Grays, I remember. I planted Charleston Grays, Crimson Sweets. And to be honest with you, those Fairmore seeds, they didn't have good germination rate. They were not that old. I bought them in 2021. And the germination rate was trash, in my opinion, for watermelons. Watermelon seeds, I usually get 90, almost 100% germination rate. But it is what it is. Now I want to tell y'all, I keep seeing blooms on these ground cherries, but they ain't really setting no fruit. Now I don't know if that's because it's too hot or what, but the plant looks beautiful, ain't hardly setting no fruit. And this watermelon in here, I can tell you now, it ain't enough nutrition. That's why them leaves is looking like that. Down here, the new leaves look good, but it's not getting near the nutrition that it should. But I don't usually grow watermelons in containers. I'm not saying that you can't. You can. And it's people that's successful. Y'all know how long it took me to be successful with watermelons in the ground, let alone talking about in a container. Because watermelons, honestly, y'all, they're not intended to be grown in a container. That's why they have so many varieties that you can grow in a container. I'm not saying you can't do it, but what I'm saying is you got to be on it, because watermelons eat a lot, and your nutrition washes out of your containers faster. So you have to really be on it. And I would almost caution you and say start with a variety of watermelon that was designed for a pot or designed for containers. I have seen sugar babies grown countless times successfully in containers. Most of the container gardeners that are truly, truly successful at container gardeners, when they do grow watermelons, they grow sugar babies most of the time. I'm not saying you can't grow the other ones. I'm just saying you got to be on it, because you asking a plant that makes that amount of vine to grow out of a container and then turn around and put melons on them. You see what I'm saying? You're asking that plant to do a lot with a small amount of soil. Not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying you got to be on it. And a lot of times people don't understand what they're getting themselves into. I'm not against container gardening, by the way, because I have stuff in containers. So, but understand this. I will tell you in a minute, I work harder because of those containers. My fruit trees are so much more of a burden up off of me now that they're not in a container anymore. I'm not saying you can't grow them in a container. I'm not saying not to. But what I'm saying is I don't have to worry so much about feeding them, watering them. Like I don't water my fruit trees anymore. My fruit trees used to be something else that I had to water, if you get what I'm saying. Now I don't have to worry about that. I don't water them. I don't hardly feed them because of the way my setup is now. I feed them a little, but I don't fertilize them a lot. And I'll show you guys why. Oh, I'm walking right past some of the stuff I'm supposed to be showing y'all, because I'm showing y'all some new stuff that's going on. Some stuff I did. I moved. I'm going to go back over here with my mulberry and stuff. Yes, over here. Because just like this mulberry is coming out of this pot. I got some changes that's going to go on, and I think I know where I want that mulberry now. This mulberry is going to get chopped down. This is the same mulberry, so I'm not losing anything, but it's a male anyway. So, I don't know. I may kill that one. If it don't make no fruit, y'all, I'm sorry. I don't have silkworms, so there's no need for me to, because you can grow silkworms and get a lot of silk off mulberries. The silkworms love mulberries, but I ain't got no silkworms. I ain't got no silk production. I ain't doing all that. So right here, I moved those two peppers. I moved them over there, and they're doing better. The roly-polies attacked one. If I lose one, it's fine, but the other one looks fine. I planted over there by the eggplant. And then I had a bunch of cowpeas, like whippoorwill and iron and clay and stuff, lady cream. I threw them in there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to let them trellis up on this mulberry. So that mulberry is going to be the trellis for me. It's going to be a living trellis. So think about that sometime. That tree serves no purpose to me. It doesn't grow any fruit. It doesn't, it doesn't do anything. So I want something that's going to have some fruit. I'd rather have a mulberry that fruits, at least be a fruit tree and a shade tree. They grow so fast, you get such beautiful shade out of them. And I think I got some changes coming back here. But we're going to get closer to those changes before I say that, because I don't want to say it and have to take it back and all that. But like I was saying, I don't have to feed my trees because of the way I have this laid out back here. So these containers here, they are composting containers. They started out as nothing but compost and leaves and wood chips and just straight wood and sticks and a little bit of food scraps, leaves, all that kind of stuff. That's what they started out at. I never really I put about 2 inches of soil on the very top when I first planted them, just so I could have something to plant in. But everything below that was all that other stuff, just stuff that composts down. The worms came in there and they composted this, and I think I showed in another video just how pretty a soil this made. I put some sweet potatoes in here. Y'all, I don't do that thing with the slips and growing the slips and all that. I don't do all that. I don't have time for that. All that babysitting and watching and changing water and all. I ain't got time for that. I just put, and if you think I'm lying, you can see the sweet potato. I just put the whole sweet potato in there. See, it's coming up. Over here, there's another sweet potato. Those are just now coming up. They'll get some leaves on them here in a minute. They just came up a few days ago. These came up first. Planted the whole sweet potato. I'm trying to see if I can. Here we go. Y'all see, y'all can see the sweet potato. I'm telling you, I don't do all that other stuff. You wasting time with that. And people talking about you ain't gonna get no sweet potatoes, they a liar. Because in the front, I planted back sweet potatoes. This is my second year doing that. And y'all saw the harvest I got last time. So like I was saying, when I water these, there are holes in them. The holes are not directed towards me. The holes are directed back towards what? My fruit trees. So when I water these and the water leaches through, basically this is a composting type bed, because anytime I add to this, I always just add more leaves, more either kitchen scraps, yard waste. When I say yard waste, I mean grass clippings, pine straw, anything the worms can eat. Shredded paper, anything the worms can eat, cardboard, sticks, whatever. As that stuff is composting, the worms is eating it. When it rains, these drain, the water runs onto the ground and it leaches right down into my fruit trees. The same thing with those containers there as well. I fill them the same way. All of that basically rich liquid that's worm casting, compost tea, whatever you want to call it, that stuff leaches down. And when the water goes down into the ground, that feeds my fruit trees. I do not have to worry about feeding my fruit trees. Yeah, I'm trying to get to a point where I don't have to worry about all that stuff. It's too much on my psyche. So that's a new addition to the sweet potato. So we're going to see. I'm not saying I'm going to get the greatest because I just planted those. But we're going to see what we get out of the rest of the season, because I usually can grow sweet potatoes all the way until October, November, whenever we get a frost. I usually go all the way to the frost. Some people are so apt and anxious to pull their sweet potatoes for some reason, like they're going to get ruined. If you don't have frost or the ground going to freeze in your area, and when I say the ground freeze, understand what that means. I think people that live in real cold climates understand what that means, like Denver, stuff like that. You can't even plant in the ground because the ground is hard, it's frozen. If you live anywhere from Tennessee down, you don't get that. Now, Tennessee do get snow, but the ground don't freeze. So just because it killed the top of your plants, okay, the top of your plants are dead now, just dig your sweet potatoes. Your sweet potatoes are not ruined. People are like, oh, if it gets the frost, your sweet potatoes going to be ruined. No, it ain't. I don't let the frost hit my sweet potatoes 2 or 3 years in a row. They don't be ruined because the ground does not freeze. The ground actually be surprisingly warm when you dig them, because when I was digging them one year, I think I said that. I was like, ooh, the ground feels warm. I was cold, but the ground felt great. So, you know, I let my sweet potatoes go out because people, you know, I hear people say, oh, when your sweet potato leaves die, they don't die back. Let some cold come. I haven't witnessed that. I haven't witnessed my sweet potato leaves don't never die back. So, another addition, I put all my cages in here. Y'all know I got some melons getting ready. That's some melons I just planted. I don't know if I'm going to get any melons out of those. Hami melons and Kajari. I'm not that worried about it because the seeds are easy to come by. So if I need to get more seed, because I don't think I have any more Kajari. I know I don't have any more Hami melons. But I let these Santa Claus melons grow up. And now I seem to be getting a lot more blooms. It's because they can grow up a little bit more towards the light. They grew up actually quite quick. I still haven't been getting a whole lot of females. And I want to mention this to y'all. I wouldn't recommend some of these because they have so many ants on them. But keep in mind, you can eat these blooms. And these blooms are actually nutritious for you. Unless, now, if you're allergic to various types of pollen or something like that, don't eat these blooms. But if you're not allergic to none of that stuff, eat the blooms. The pollen has a lot of nutrition in them. Melon blooms taste a lot like cucumber blooms, so they'll taste very similar to, like, it have a faint kind of cucumber-y taste. That's kind of what they taste like. They're beautiful in a salad. If you put them in a salad, if you put dressing and stuff on your salad, you probably won't be able to taste them because they don't have It's not an overwhelming taste, but they're pretty, and you get some nutrition out of them. But yeah, I got all my cages in there, so I've been getting some stuff done. I pruned my blueberry just a little bit. I don't know if y'all can tell the lighter leaves versus the darker leaves. All the lighter leaves, all that's new growth. I think I'm going to prune this thing some more because I kind of wanted to grow some more. I wanted to get a little bit more bushy. There's actually still a blueberry on there. There's actually two. There's another one. So there's a couple of blueberries, but the birds got me on them. So, but yeah. So that's what I got going on out here, y'all. I got a bunch of videos, a bunch of different things. I've written down some ideas and stuff for videos. Y'all look how pretty this turmeric is. Look at this peanut. Homeboy not playing. He is not playing. He said, I'm finna come out here then. Since the turmeric has grown up and around, I'm finna come out. So peanuts, this ginger in here, still looking beautiful. There's several stalks of ginger. 3 or 4 stalks of ginger over there growing nicely. They look beautiful. No pest damage. I swear to God, y'all. Turmeric. I'm hoping that these make flowers. This is it's a beautiful plant, but I want for it to make flowers. I think it would be even prettier if it made flowers. But when I come over here and this is almost as tall as me, I'm in love with it. And then it's right next to these bananas. So it looks real kind of tropical over here. I'm going to tell you what I want to do, what else I want to do over here if I can. I don't know if it's going to work, though. I want to plant some papayas over here in the ground. I got one papaya in the greenhouse, and I got some papaya seeds. But that papaya is going to stay in the greenhouse. I'm tired of losing my papayas. I'm going to try to protect my papayas real good. And then come put it in the ground. I got it in a good-sized container now, but I think I'm going to put it in an even bigger container. And then try to protect it real good in the wintertime and hope I don't lose it. And if I don't lose it, it's going to go on the ground just as soon as I can next spring. And I'm going to start me some more papaya seeds. I may start me some more papaya seeds before it get cold, because in the cold, they're not going to germinate. I ain't got no business trying to really grow them papayas because the frost usually takes them out. But yeah, y'all, this is looking okay. Y'all see my bananas got they got a little burn or something on them. I'm not too worried about it because it's not the majority of the plants, but shoot, I don't know how many bananas I got in here. Look down there. Look at all those pups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 to 11 trees right in there, right in that little spot. So if you grow them dwarf Cavendish, know that they throw a lot of pups. When I first got them, they immediately started throwing pups. Them things I'm finna protect real hard too. I had to protect them real good. Even better than I did last year. Because I want to try to get bananas, because I know it's not gonna make any flowers. It may give me bananas this year, I don't believe. I believe it didn't really die all the way to the ground, but it did in a way. It died back too far for it to give me bananas. So it is what it is. Over here, figs still doing good. I've been watering my figs a little better. So my guamachis are looking good. These, believe it or not, gonna have to come out of here before it get cold, because the cold will kill my guamachis. I'm tired of starting guamachis again. But let me tell you this: if you want a guamachi is a Mexican tamarind, so it's a sweeter tamarind. They say it tastes like regular tamarind is more sour. This one is sweeter, and they say it tastes almost like a Granny Smith apple. Y'all see my pigeon pea? That's my lone survivor from Dan's seeds that he sent me. When I tell y'all, bro, these random ants biting me. I mean, they wearing me out. And I also have these peanuts you see in here, Carolina Runners. I got one guava that came back. I got a guava I know for a fact I pulled out of here. I shouldn't have pulled out of here. It was living. Because the roots. And when I looked at the roots after I pulled it up, I said, I wonder, was that alive? And when that one came back, I was like, it was alive. Now, yeah, some of my guavas got killed off, but it probably was alive. But yeah, these guamachis I got to protect, because I can't keep buying seeds. I had guamachis before, and I let the cold kill them. Not this year. I can't have it. And I actually have more guamachis than I need. So keep your eyes peeled. I may sell some because I don't need them. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to do a video on that, planting seed hoarding. I'm gonna do a video on that too, because some people think that's cute and it's not. But anyhow, y'all, that's pretty much all I want to show y'all. My figs look like they're trying to do a second, which they always do. They fruit twice. And I'm gonna see if I can show you what I'm talking about. This one close to me. I don't know if y'all see that little fig way over there. You probably can't see it. But my figs, even after they fruit, remember when I told you the big ones was gonna fruit and then probably drop the fruit because I wasn't watering it right, and the fruit they did. It dropped all them little hard figs. They weren't worth nothing. The birds didn't get them nothing. They just dropped them. They may fruit again, but I don't care if they fruit again or what. Come hell or high water before spring, those will be in the ground. The figs, at the very least, are going to be in the ground. I must get my figs in the ground. I'm not just watering and worrying about if they're a desert plant. They can make it. I just need to get them in the ground. I've just been trife. Well, not trife. Once the spring gets away from me and I see stuff fruiting, I don't want to repot it because it's going to drop its fruit. I've told y'all that before. I don't like losing fruit. This apple tree must be pruned. It must like this spot. And then that pear tree that was the peach, that was a volunteer. You'll notice in here, this is the peach. That's a volunteer. That came from, I ate a peach off of my tree. I spit the seed in the container with the apple because all these trees used to be in containers. And I must have spit it close to the trunk. I'm going to try to come around here so y'all can see. See how close it is? It's about 2 or 3 inches from each other. I spit that in that container. And after I put it in the ground, the sucker came up. So, yeah, that's that. And I wanted to show y'all this because I don't be showing this too often. I forget what this is. Mealybug or whatever. It's on my apple tree. All this fur and stuff. See that? I'm gonna get that off. I got a spray for that. I'm gonna get that off. But I don't be worried about it that much because that tree's not fruiting because I don't have anything for it to pollinate with. It makes flowers, but it's not gonna fruit if I don't have. I'm either gonna have to graft onto it to get another apple, and I think what I'm gonna do is graft onto it because right now I don't have a lot of space for a whole lot more trees. I know what y'all be saying, but you got all this out here. I do like having a yard, y'all. I do have pets. They do like to run around in the open spaces, and I do like it when they can run in the open space and not be running into my fruit trees, because sometimes they do run into the fruit trees, and I'd be like, y'all tearing my trees up. But anyway, I ain't gonna keep y'all too much longer. I just wanted to show y'all the updates I had out here. If y'all wondering where the babies is, because y'all ain't seen now, baby, today. It's hot as fire. They all in the house. It's not even 10 o'clock yet and it's hot. But they're all in the house, chilling, laying down somewhere. The cats may be on the porch, though. They tend to like to lay on the porch. But anyhow, till next time. You see, this turmeric is pretty, too. But until next time, see you guys later.